Here are the top 10 most common reasons why my clients are deciding to ditch the state of Utah and relocate to little old Salem, Oregon instead. Stick around until the end because we're going to be leaving the best reasons for last. If we haven't met yet, my name is Clarity Odd and I focus on helping people relocate to Salem successfully. If you want to work with me, book a one-on-one consultation using the link in the description down below. All right, let's jump right into it. Reason number one on our list is that Salem, Oregon has a much more mild climate than Utah. If you are tired of Utah's extreme weather, you are gonna fall in love with Salem's more mild climate. Summers here are warm, but they're not scorching. We do have high temperatures that hover around the 80s, but we do get temperatures higher than that too. It is perfect for enjoying the outdoor activities here in Salem without feeling like you are melting or just sweating yourself away. And the winters here, they are more mild and wet with temperatures rarely dipping below the freezing point. In Utah, you have those super hot summers and cold, snowy winters, which are just treacherous. And I know that it can be a lot to handle there in Utah, but in Salem, the weather is just more consistent and more manageable overall, which makes it a lot easier to enjoy being outside any time of the year. Just imagine being able to walk in the park with your doggo or go for a hike without worrying about the weather being too extreme, whether that be too hot or too cold. Our mild climate here in Salem really supports having a really lush and green environment, which means that everywhere you look, there is going to be greenery. It is incredibly refreshing from the dry desert landscapes of Utah. Albeit it is pretty in Utah, but it's just not the same. The natural beauty here is just breathtaking. You are gonna find so many different kinds of plants and trees that thrive in this climate. So if you are somebody who likes to garden, fret not friends, because you can actually garden here, and your tomatoes and your vegetables and your flowers, they won't get scorched in the summer heat too easily like they do in Utah. Reason number two is that Salem, Oregon has really easy access to the Pacific Ocean. We have easy access to the most breathtaking coastline on the West Coast. And all of that is just an hour's drive away from Salem. So whether you love beachcombing, tide pooling, or fishing, or just sitting on the sand and relaxing by the ocean, it's only an hour's drive away. And if you have a fur baby like I do who absolutely goes bonkers in the sand and does zoomies all over the place, the whole entire Oregon coast is incredibly dog friendly. So a lot of the beaches here, you can have your dog off leash, going bananas and letting them enjoy the ocean just as much as you are. I know that in Utah, you are over 700 miles away from the nearest coastline. That is a really long trek if you are craving some beach time, but from Salem, a weekend getaway to the Oregon coast, it is a breeze. It's perfect for a quick escape to recharge your little old batteries and enjoy the stunning landscapes of the beach and the cliffs that we have here, in addition to all of the cutie patootie coastal towns. And we can't forget to talk about the state parks and the natural preservations along the coastline. We have endless opportunities for hiking, camping, wildlife watching. It really is a paradise for nature lovers and outdoor enthusiasts, or lazy people like me who just like to stroll around and call it a good old hike. The coastal climate can be incredibly refreshing change from the inland weather, so it sometimes offers a lot cooler temperatures, which means that when it's hot here in Salem, maybe in the 90s, even the hundreds, yuck, disgusting, a rare event, but it does happen, you can get your tookie over to the coast and bet that it's going to be around 70 to 75 degrees, which means it's the perfect opportunity to escape the sweltering, sweaty, disgusting heat that we do get here on occasion. Reason number three is that Salem, Oregon has zero sales tax. That's right, we have zero sales tax on goods, on services, and this even includes online purchases. So what you see on the price tag is exactly what you are going to pay in your cart. This in itself is a huge relief, especially when you're used to adding on extra charges for your sales tax in Utah on literally everything that you buy. This means that you are going to save more money over time, especially on big ticket items like electronics, appliances, and even cars. It makes budgeting so much more simple. And let's be honest, in this economy, we could all be saving a little bit of cheddar here and there. So my internet friends, you can enjoy those shopping sprees without the post-purchase guilt of calculating all of those taxes that you just spent. Now do be mindful that we don't have sales tax, but we do have a sliding scale income tax. So depending on how much you make, you are going to be taxed accordingly for that income tax bracket that you fall into. I'm no CPA. I don't even do my taxes. My husband does all of that. So if you have questions about that, get on the phone to your CPA or H&R Block, whoever you need to call. It's not me, not with taxes anyways. All right, moving on to reason number 4 here, which is that we have the most green, lush landscapes you will ever encounter. If you are coming from Utah's arid conditions, you are just going to be amazed by the greenery that we have here. The Willamette Valley, which is where Salem is located, is full of fertile soils and mild climates, which really supports a huge diversity of plant life here. We have parks, forests, and just green spaces everywhere that you look, which makes it perfect for just being outside any time of the year. So whether you're hiking through Silver Falls State Park or picnicking in Bush Pasture Park or just exploring Minto Brown Park, you are going to love all of the opportunities to be outside here. A lot of the spots that I just mentioned have trails and picnic areas and scenic viewpoints, which means that it's great for people who are traveling alone, with your doggo, families. Any and all people can experience these spaces and enjoy. All of the greenery that we have here isn't just pretty. It is really good for your health too, because we have greater air quality, less stress because we're outside more, and we just have opportunities to be active. You don't have to worry about stepping outside and melting away or feeling like you have to stay inside all day, because in Utah it's so hot that you need to be in AC every single moment of every single day. It is not like that here. You can be outside, you can be comfortable, and you won't melt away. Now, I will tell you that living in the Pacific Northwest does come with rain. So being outside is a really great way to combat any of the winter gloomies that you might be getting. First winter here in Salem, it can feel brutal. It can feel depressing because you're not going to be used to all of the rainy, gray skies that we have. Get outside, move your body, and I promise that in itself will help your mentality. Reason number 5 is that Salem, Oregon has an incredibly strong wine culture. So wine lovers tend to come to Salem very specifically because we are in the heart of the Willamette Valley, which is famous for its wines, particularly the Pinot Noir. The vineyards and wineries here around Salem are truly top-notch, and they're just a short drive away. I know that if you're coming from Utah, you might even come from a family that doesn't drink. And let me tell you, as the wife to a husband that has family that hails from Utah, I totally understand. But if you've ever been curious about wine or the culture around it or growing your own grapes, you are going to fall in love with how open Salem is to teaching everyone about the wine culture and the growing processes here in the Willamette Valley. You can take tours of vineyards, sample a whole bunch of different wines, and you can just learn about the winemaking process through different classes. Wineries like Willamette Valley Vineyards, St. Innocent Winery, and Christum's Vineyards often host events and festivals throughout the year. So it's a great way to not only meet people, but enjoy live music and savor all of the amazing food and wine pairings that they offer. Plus, these wineries offer stunning views and beautiful settings that just make it a nice place to enjoy getting a dinner or meal out. Reason number 6 is that Salem has a lot of outdoor activities throughout the entire year, which means that there is always something going on. While Utah is famous for its national parks and ski resorts, Salem has its own unique outdoor experiences. We've got hiking, biking, kayaking, fishing, walking, my personal favorite. We have it all here. The Willamette River is perfect for water-based activities like kayaking, canoeing, and fishing, but do be mindful that these flowing waters can be dangerous. So educate yourself before putting your kayak in. But it's an amazing opportunity to just have a river that flows through town that you can go putz around on. Now, if you prefer land activities, there is plenty of opportunities to go walk on trails, paved and unpaved, or just go hang out in different parks like Minto Brown, which I mentioned earlier. But what I didn't mention is that that park is filled with this amazing off-leash dog park. So for all of my fur baby owners out there, rest assured you can go walk around in the park, you can go take your dog to the off-leash area, and you can just hang out before walking back into downtown. Salem is also really close to state and national parks as well, like I mentioned earlier, Silver Falls State Park and the Cascade Mountains. These areas have more challenging hikes, but they have gorgeous waterfalls and great camping spots. And if you're like me, you're like, ew, fuck camping, let's go glamping. They also have glamping opportunities. There really is always something to do outdoors, so whether you are an adrenaline junkie or you just like hanging out, walking around on nature walks, Salem really has everything for everyone. Reason number 7 is that Salem, Oregon has milder allergies. If you are coming from Utah, I know that you probably struggle with allergies, and you're gonna appreciate that while we do have different pollens here that are likely going to kick off your allergies, I also know that allergies in Utah are a whole different thing. Utah's dry, dusty air can really aggravate those allergies and respiratory conditions, but Salem's more temperate climate and greenery really helps keep the pollen count lower and the air quality better. Now, this isn't to say that you're not going to experience seasonal allergies here. You likely are, because the pollens are going to be new to you, but it's just a very different kind of allergies when you compare it to what you might be experiencing in Utah. Reason number 8 is that Salem, Oregon has close proximity to major cities. Salem's ideal location is perfect for accessing major cities like Portland and Eugene and getting the best of both worlds, a small town feel with access to big city amenities. Portland is just an hour north, which means there's going to be a lot of different activities that you can go experience in Portland, like cultural events, culinary stuff and yummy food, and just a wide variety of entertainment options. So whether you want to go to a concert in Portland, a college football game in Eugene, or just exploring the different neighborhoods and eateries in those different cities, it is all within easy reach. Living in Salem really gives you a quieter, more relaxed lifestyle, but you still have access to these great opportunities like higher education, different cultural activities, entertainment, and arts. And I, for one, think it's a great balance. Reason number 9 is that Salem, Oregon has full-service gas stations. In Oregon, we don't have to pump our own gas. Full-service gas stations are the norm, and it is an incredibly convenient perk of living here. An attendant is going to fill your tank, check your oil if you ask them, and clean your windshield if you ask them really nicely. This is especially nice during terrible weather when it's rainy and you just want to stay dry and warm in your car. Recently, Oregon passed a law where you actually can pump your own gas. Before this law was passed, it was actually illegal in Oregon to pump your own gas, which is a little bit bonkers. If you have not had somebody pump your gas for you, just know that the attendants are always nice, but it might feel a little bit uncomfortable at first because you do hand them your debit or credit card. So it can feel a little bit weird sitting in your car, giving your, card over to somebody else, but just know they will give it back right away, and that is the norm. Reason number 10 is that Salem, Oregon has an overall lower cost of living than a lot of big cities in Utah. This is especially true when it comes to housing costs. You are going to find more affordable real estate options here in Salem, which means that it's easier to buy a bigger, nicer house for a better price than what you could find in Utah. Besides lower housing costs, other expenses like groceries, utilities, and transportation, they can also be cheaper than some areas of Utah. And this really means that you're going to have more disposable income for things like savings, investments, your doggo, whatever. But the point is, your dollar's going to go further here in Salem, which for me means that I can eat out more. I can buy more bread at my favorite bakery. What else can I do? Well, shit, I could do anything. Anyways, with that lower cost of living, the beautiful surroundings that we have here, and a strong sense of community, Salem is a great place for so many different people to check out. It's more financially sustainable than a lot of places of Utah, and you just have a different and, dare I say, better quality of life. You can spend more on experiences and travels and hobbies and enriching your daily life than you probably could in Utah. So if you're considering moving to Oregon, but you haven't really decided on where you want to live, maybe you know that you don't want to live in Portland, but what are the alternatives? Well, put Salem on that list of alternatives. Watch more of my videos and see if it's the right place for you. If you enjoyed this video, you, my friends, are going to want to watch this one next. Bye-bye!